everybody, and welcome to my first speed paint video! I will be talking throughout this entire video, so if you don't want to hear my voice, that is perfectly fine. Feel free to mute the video. You will not offend me in any way, shape, or form. So, I just want to talk a little bit about myself and what I'm doing here. So, I'm painting here the scene from Alice in Wonderland, the Disney version. It's the Painting the Roses Red scene. For some reason, I just had that song in my head and decided I want to paint it. So, that's what I did. Growing up, I had a lot of art supplies. Me and my mom really liked doing stuff. Well, my sister as well. We really like making art stuff, so we always had a bunch of art supplies to choose from. I mostly worked in acrylic paint. I feel that acrylic is pretty forgiving. If you make a mistake, just wait a little bit for the paint to dry and you can paint over it. So it's not a big deal. Which is why the thought of oil paint terrifies me. So, I don't know, maybe if I get more brave, I'll eventually start working in oil paint, but for now, no. I have been working with watercolor paint recently this past year. I did 2 pieces that I really liked. I thought it was really fun painting with watercolors, and I liked how the pieces came out. So, when my sister gave me these brand spanking new cool watercolors for Christmas, I figured, yay, a new thing to try out. I mostly worked with these tube watercolor paints, and they were hand-me-downs from Jamin. Jamin's my husband, by the way. They were hand-me-downs from Jamin's grandmother. And, you know, tube paints, sometimes the paint would dry out, and so a couple of the colors acted a little finicky, but mostly I really enjoyed working with them, and they were easy to use. This paint, on the other hand, is very pigmented compared to what I had used before. So before, I found myself having to put a lot of paint and a little bit of water to get a really saturated color. And in this case, it was really pigmented, and it's probably because it's the first time I'm using this paint too. So it's kind of a learning curve for me. I'm probably gonna have to use them a couple more times before I finally get the hang of how they, flow and whatnot. But hey, you know what? That's the fun thing about art, is learning to use new things and new techniques. And speaking of learning new things and new techniques, hopefully you're not watching this video as a tutorial, because it's not a very good one. I ended up doing some things that I found not what I wanted to basically sometimes you have an image in your head and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make this thing and it's gonna look like this. Well, this did not look like how I imagined it in my head. But you know what? That's a common thing with art. A lot of artists deal with that, where you envision something and you have high hopes for something and it doesn't always turn out the way you had in mind. That does not mean, absolutely does not mean, that it's a bad piece of art. Just because something didn't turn out the way you planned doesn't make it a bad piece of art. A lot of people, I feel, especially artists, we get down on ourselves. We are our own worst critics. And so when you have something and it didn't turn out the way you planned, you kind of just, oh man, I hate it, and I'm going to just scrap it. Don't do that. You should be proud of what you did, because you put time and effort and love into what you did. And, not everyone has the time and patience or dedication or skill to do what you did. So, you know what? Be proud of what you did. No, it's not what you had in mind. Maybe it's not perfect, but it's still art, and it's still beautiful, I'm sure. Like this one, for example, no, it didn't turn out how I intended it to turn out, but I'm still really happy with the end result. So, yeah. Oh, and that's my face, and I have a acne breakout, so don't look at the bottom corner of the screen. Ignore it. Ignore it. Focus on the art. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Art is good. Art is fun. I encourage all of you that even if you aren't creative or you don't think you're creative, try it out. Just get a pencil and a paper and start doodling something, or a pen, whatever you feel more comfortable with. It doesn't matter what you make, as long as you're enjoying what you're doing. I find a lot of the time I get really, I guess, kind of, I get depressed. I admit it. And so you kind of get sad and, maybe you're not having a good day. And, sometimes it helps to talk to friends. But then sometimes you're like, I really don't feel like talking to anybody. And I don't want to go out. And, you're kind of just stuck in this rut. Well, do art, That's what I find sometimes when I'm kind of stuck in a rut. I'll do something creative. I'll pour out my emotions into my work, and it really helps. It really makes you feel good about yourself. So, yeah, art is good. Art is always good. Oh, and this is where I realized, oh hey, maybe I should probably leave some of the flowers white. Oh, darn it. So I kind of stopped where I was and just left half of them halfway. Yeah. It's okay. It's art. Like I just said, mistakes are fine. Right? Oh, and I know what some of you are probably wondering is, why did she color the card guys purple? Aren't they supposed to be black because it's a clover? Yes, technically their hood and gloves are supposed to be black, but again, this is art. This is whatever I want it to be. And I didn't want to use black in this painting. I kind of wanted it to be bright and fun and colorful. So instead of using black, I just used purple in place of black. Even the gray in the buckets, I kind of went back and did a little bit of a purple wash over them just to kind of take out that dullness a little bit in the background. And yeah. Oh, and this is where I did the grass, and I did grass in my previous painting, and I love how it came out. How it came out. This is gonna be a continuing audio take, so you're gonna hear my mess ups. Anyways, I did grass in a previous painting, and I loved how it turned out. And I was trying to recreate that this time. And I don't know what happened here. I don't know if I was using too much water, not enough water, the paint's, more pigmented, maybe that's the dealio, but it did not turn out how I wanted it to turn out. Definitely not as good as my last painting of grass, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. It's a learning experience, and hopefully next time I can figure out how to do it better, right? So I'm not putting a lot of details into this. In that scene, here's my booger of a cat. Oh, this is when I went downstairs to put the pizza in the oven. I came upstairs and saw she was sitting in my chair and was thinking, oh, she's so good and well behaved. Ha! Apparently she was sniffing the water cups. A little booger. Ugh. But yes, that is my cat. One of my cats. Her name is Kami, Kami. And she is a little booger. Anyways, as I was saying, I didn't really want to put a lot of details in this scene because in this scene in the movie, you're basically focused on the cards, painting the roses red, and Alice comes in and helps them out. It's really important for them to get the roses painted red because if not, the queen will have their head, and so the story goes. So that's what I kind of wanted to focus on. This is going to be all about the cards and the painting, and at the same time, it's watercolor. You don't have to be super duper detailed with watercolor. It's fun just to let the water and the paint bleed all over the place. So, maybe a little order. A little order is an order. A little order is an order. You know what I mean. But, I don't know. I just wanted to have fun. Not get too stuck on the details. Though, I know some of you are probably saying, what are you talking about? That's detailed. You did, the little shapes on the cards and the tiny paint splatters on the bucket. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I can't let go of my detail-oriented side, but this is pretty simple compared to some of my other things. Trust me. Also, I know there's a lot of artists out there that will go back in with a pen and just kind of outline things, add more details, and emphasize things in ink. I don't really like to do that. I will go in with paint again and just, highlight things with the watercolor paint itself. maybe in the future I'll try it out and try to outline and highlight things with pen. Again, it's art. It should be fun. I should try different things out and see what I like. But for right now, I just figured I really like using, the color purple and red and green and just kind of highlighting details like that. So that's what I did. I outlined the cards with purple, added some little paint splatters with the red ink, and then I even went back in with green later on when everything dried off a bit and added some little kind of like shrubbery details to the bush in the background and the grass in the foreground. And yes, that is supposed to be like a giant hedge in the background. In the movie, I think it's actually gray, like a kind of muted gray color. And so that's why I kind of made it this purpley green color, because I did want it to be muted out, but still have that same color harmony as the rest of the painting. So again, it might look random and weird, but hey, it made sense in my head at the time. Didn't look like I expected it, but like I've been saying, art is just having fun and enjoying your mistakes, And at the end, I really did like how it came out, so I enjoyed my mistakes. Oh, and here's my booger cat again. She kept trying to drink out of my water cup, and so I had to keep moving it. But now she's being a good girl. I'm like, oh, okay, Mom, I'll just watch you paint. La la la. Usually she's a little booger, but we love her. I have another cat too, but she's the well-behaved one. She won't get up on my work stuff, and for some reason, this cat, every single time I sit at my computer at my desk to work, she will always sit on my lap and like want to cuddle. If she's on the couch and you want to cuddle with her, no. On the bed, no, don't touch me, get away from me, I don't like cuddles. But for some reason, whenever I'm working, need to get stuff done, she is like all about the cuddles. So yeah, I don't know. Cats, they're weird. But yeah, so this is the majority of my painting done. Sorry, I was rambling on and on and on. I've never recorded this much audio and a whole cut, so I will admit I was extremely nervous, but hopefully you enjoyed it, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will be planning on doing some more of these soon, so stay tuned, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks, bye!